So starting in a seated position, and probably you have one leg that prefers to be in the front, so we're gonna change those. And then from there, we bring those shoulders all the way up. And I'm bringing them down slightly towards each other. Placing your hands onto the knees, tucking your tailbone in just a little bit. So today we will do a practice in which we are going to float towards hip openers, more specifically towards the front split. There will be a lot of different options. So if the split is not an option today, then we will have other options to choose from. For this practice, maybe you want to place a couple of blocks next to the mat or a couple of books that you can use later on. Because we're not only going to focus upon those hamstring stretches and the stretches on the front side of the legs, but also exploring some options if you notice that the wrists are a bit sensitive today. So for now, see how you are doing, how your body is doing. And from there, slowly bringing your chin towards your chest. Lengthening the back of the neck. While your shoulders are slowly dropping down a little bit more. Our hands and our wrists are parts of the body that we work with a lot, not only in our yoga practice, but also during the day. And especially if you maybe have a job or when you're working or studying or sitting behind a desk more often, you maybe notice that those wrists sometimes need a little bit more love, a little bit more attention. So it's that wrist relief that we're gonna look for today, together with that relief in the legs, lengthening and stretching, but staying strong. And maybe while you're breathing here, noticing how with every single exhalation, your chin can sink down towards the chest just a little bit more. Now maybe that relief, that stretch, is not only something that you want to take with you in the practice for the wrists and the legs, but maybe also for other parts of your body. Taking a moment to set an intention for your practice here this evening. And then from here, slowly bringing your head back up. And lengthening the arms a little bit more, bringing those fingertips down towards the ground. So really moving those hands over the knees. From there, lifting the heart a little bit more. Shoulder blades towards each other. And stretching those fingers out, activating the hands here. And then from there, releasing the hands, rounding the spine, slowly rounding yourself completely here, bringing the chin towards the chest. Breathing in, moving open to the front, shoulder blades together. Maybe you want to slide those hands a little bit more back here, and on that exhalation, round the spine, chin towards your chest. Breathing in, lifting shoulders together. And exhale, round the spine. Breathing in, coming back in the middle, stretching out those fingers down towards the ground, but slowly bringing those shoulder blades more together. And then from here, breathing in, bringing those arms all the way up. Hands together, exhale, slowly bringing the hands down. Breathing in, slowly moving those fingertips towards the ground. And then from there, opening the heart a little bit more, lifting the pelvic floor, activating the belly muscles. And from there, breathing in, open, keep that activation. Breathing out, slowly twisting towards the right side, maybe looking over your shoulder or looking to the side. Breathing in, bringing the arms all the way up this time, and then from there with that activation still in the pelvic floor, twisting towards the other side. And then from here, breathing in, this time releasing the belly, releasing the pelvic floor, bringing the hands down. Breathing in with the fingertips next to you, lifting the heart, maybe looking towards the ceiling. Breathing out, forward fold, placing your fingertips in front of you, dropping your head for a moment. And then see if there is space to move a little bit more to the front. And then slowly moving from side to side, and especially because we have that other leg in front of us right now, maybe you notice different sensations in your butt, in your hips, compared to when you normally do this one with your preferred leg to the front. Now from here, breathing in, slowly start walking those fingertips all the way towards the right side until your upper body is roughly in one line with the right knee. On that exhale, bending your arms just a little bit, moving down towards the leg. Breathing in, lengthen, walking those fingertips a little bit further, and then from there slowly moving all the way to the other side until your upper body ends up above your left knee. And there on an exhale, slowly folding towards the leg. Breathing in, lengthen here, slowly making your way all the way over to the right side again. And exhale, moving down towards the leg. Now from here, breathing in, lengthen a little bit more, placing your right hand into the mat. Breathing all the way in, open into this side bend here. Stretching out that left arm, activate the fingers. Breathing out, slowly moving down towards the right knee again, stretching those arms out, fingertips in the ground. Breathing in, slowly start walking all the way to the other side. And from there on exhale, letting go a little bit on your inhalation. Left hand into the mat, opening up with that right arm into that side stretch. Breathing out, slowly moving down towards that leg, stretching out the hands here again, releasing in the neck, in the spine. Breathing in, slowly coming back in the middle. See if you can walk just a little bit further here. And then from there, slowly rolling all the way back up again, hands onto the knees. Breathing in, shoulders all the way towards the ears, roll them down. And then from there, placing the hands in front of you, come onto hands and knees. Now, if you notice that your wrists are a bit sensitive today, another option is to place the fists into the ground. So instead of having those fingers spread out underneath the shoulders, placing those fists down. And in this case, we want to keep those fists roughly in one line with the shoulder or a little bit wider. You can place them either with the front side, so the top side of your hand to the front, or maybe you prefer it to turn them halfway, so the top of the hand is to the side. So see what your preferred option is here today. Now from here, slowly bringing your tailbone back, shoulder blades towards each other, looking to the front. On your exhale, push it all the way in the ground. So again, option of having those wrists down or having those hands fully out in the ground. We do this again, shoulder blades together, moving to the front here. Exhale, pushing yourself away, tucking in the tailbone. Breathing in, shoulder blades together, look to the front. And exhale, round your spine. Now from here, breathing in, coming in your neutral position in the middle. On your exhalation, move your butt towards your heels. And then placing those fingertips in the ground. And again, we stretch ourselves all the way out here. Slowly moving from side to side. Now from here, stretching out and spreading out the hands, or slowly see if you want to move here to the front. If the wrists are hurting, you can always come back onto those wrists, or the fists, not the wrist, but the fists again here. And then from there, we're gonna move our left leg open to the side, and we're slowly gonna place the right foot into the ground. From there, we open up into a side plank, but a soft one, just to warm up here today. On your exhalation, coming down, placing your hand or your fist in the ground and moving it back. Breathing in, same thing, other sides. Opening up all the way here. See if you can reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, moving back in the middle. Now from here, placing those right toes into the ground, again still on the fists or with the hands spread out here. And then from there, see if you can move your shoulder blades just a little bit more towards each other, but tucking in the tailbone, so you're not hanging in the lower back. We keep our back straight. Now from here, you have a couple of options. Either you keep those toes in the ground, or maybe you want to lift your leg, just depending on what feels like your option today. On an inhalation, bring the knee all the way in, and from there rounding the spine. You can always put those toes in the ground while you're here. On an exhalation, either place it back into the ground or push it back here. Breathing in. And breathing out, push it away. Breathing in. And breathing out. We do one more. Breathing in. And breathing out, place it down. And then from there, placing both knees next to each other on the mat again, slowly moving your butt from side to side. So usually when we tuck it in, we actually exhale. But the reason that we do it the other way around today is because we want to use that strength on our exhalation, increasing that fire of the breath, also working with our Manipura chakra today. Now from here, coming back in the middle, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So placing those left toes in the ground or going for that left lifting off here. And on your inhalation, activate your pelvic floor, activate your belly, bring the knee in. Exhale, push it away. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So one more. Breathing in and breathing out. And then from there, if those toes were not already down, place them down and then place both knees next to each other in the ground. And then from there, slowly moving from side to side with your butt. Now, if you had that option with the wrists in the ground, slowly place your hands down here, placing them a little bit further towards the front side so you can slowly curl your toes, move yourself back and up for downward facing dog. Bending your knees one at a time. Don't overstretch the legs here. Keep it soft, keep it small. And from there, bending both knees, looking in between the hands, stepping right, left to the front side of your mat. Breathing in, table of your back. And breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, circle all the way up. And breathing out, hands in front of your heart, placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Closing your eyes here for a moment, noticing how your breath is right now. And then from there, bringing your chin towards your chest. And slightly opening your eyes so you can look towards those feet. Make sure they're in one line with your hips. Lifting the toes, spreading them all the way out. And from there, placing them down one by one. Little micro bend in those knees. Now tucking in your tailbone just a little bit more. And then from here, breathing in, circle those arms all the way up. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, table of your back. And breathing out, left foot, far step to the back, knee in the ground, foot in the ground. Breathing in, lengthen, looking to the front or maybe down towards the front side of your mat. And on your exhalation, slowly move it back, keeping the foot down into the ground, moving down with your head towards your leg. Breathing in, lengthen, looking to the front. Breathing out, move it back. Breathing in, move it to the front, lengthen. And then from here, next inhalation, coming up here. Exhale, see if there is space to lengthen a little bit more on the front side of the left leg here. On an exhalation, bringing the hands down, curl the left toes, and then step it back to high plank. Placing the knees down, placing the feet down, slowly going down here. Breathing in, baby cobra. And then breathing out, coming to all fours. And then from there, placing those elbows down. And instead of downward dog, we curl the toes and we move to dolphin pose. Now, if you notice that your shoulders are not really happy with this one, another option is to grab your blocks or your books and place them underneath the arms. So you have a little bit more space here to move back. Bending your knees one at a time. And from there, bending your knees, bringing them down, all the way down towards the mat. If you were using blocks, place them to the side. And from there, placing your fists or your hands down into the ground. And then from there, we stretch out the left leg. And then we slowly round the spine here. Make sure you don't overstretch the left knee. Breathing in, shoulder blades together, tailbone back. And then from there, we find the middle here. So you keep your back neutral. Now from here, see if you slowly want to bend your left knee just a little bit more. So you have that strength to come all the way up here. Breathing out, left hand towards that left leg, slowly moving into a side bend. Breathing in, coming back in the middle. Breathing out, placing the hands down, left leg goes back. Then from there, slowly curl those toes, moving back to down dog, bending the knees, looking in between the hands, stepping right, left to the front side of your mat. Breathing in, table of your back. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, circle all the way up. And breathing out, forward fold.
Breathing in, table of your back. And then from there, stepping your right foot, a first step to the back, knee in the ground, foot in the ground. Breathing in, length and looking to the front here. On that exhalation, push those toes down, slowly move it back. Breathing in, move it to the front, straighten out the spine. Breathing out, move it back. Breathing in, move it to the front. And breathing out, move it back. Now from here, breathing in, move it to the front. And your next inhalation, bring those arms all the way up. And then exhale, see if there's space to go a little bit more to the front. And from there, bringing the hands down, curl those right toes, step it back to high plank. Knees go down, feet go down. Slowly go all the way down here. Breathing in for baby cobra. And breathing out. Butt goes back and up. Either for downward facing dog. Or you take that little option in between where you come onto the knees first. From there placing those hands down and then moving towards dolphin. So see if you want to go for dolphin or for downward facing dog right now. In both options, slowly moving those knees. And while you are moving your knees, I'm gonna turn around so we have enough space I have enough space for the pose on the other side in a moment. Because from here, you come down onto all fours, and then from there placing that right foot open to the side. Now bringing those toes just a little bit more in, making sure you don't overstretch here, and you can either place those hands down or the fists down right now. Now from here, breathing in, shoulder blades together, look to the front. Breathing out, round the spine. Breathing in, finding your neutral position here, bending that right leg just a little bit so you can move all the way up here, lengthen. Breathing out, right hand towards your leg, slowly moving towards your leg here, side bend. Breathing in, bring those arms up, and breathing out, place them down, come back to all fours. And from there, curl your toes, moving yourself back to downward facing dog. And then from there, bending the knees, looking in between your hands, stepping right, left to the front side of your mat. Breathing in, table of your back. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, circle all the way up. And from there, hands down in front of the heart. One hand on your heart. One hand on your belly. Closing your eyes for a moment, noticing what is going on right here and now. And then from here, next inhalation, circle all the way up. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, table of your back. Breathing out, step it back to downward facing dog. Now from here, bringing your right knee towards your chest, and from there, placing your right knee behind your right wrist and your foot towards your left wrist. Slowly moving it back for pigeon. Placing your hands in one line with your right knee. Another option, if you notice that you can't fully place the hands down on the ground, is to grab blocks. And I'm placing the hands upon blocks. Bringing those shoulders up and back. Looking towards the front. Maybe you want to close your eyes here for a moment. Making sure you don't drop to the side. So we're staying in the middle here. Pressing that left foot down into the ground. Creating space on the front side of the left leg. The right hip. Front side of the left hip. A compression here in the lower back. Now, if you you notice that you feel strong in this pose, and you don't necessarily need the support of your hands in the ground, and see if you want to stay here in the middle for a moment. Just give a little massage to the wrists. So placing one thumb on the inside, fingers or a couple of fingers in the back, and just give it a little bit of a massage. If you notice, oh, this is not the most relaxing pose I ever gave a wrist massage, and make sure you just stay with your hands in the ground. What we're actually doing is moving our attention towards our wrists, but at the same time we're still fully active in the legs. Now from there, placing your hands in front of you, curl the left toes, and then slowly moving yourself a little bit more to the front so you can make your way back to downward facing dog. And you can always go for dolphin pose if you prefer. For now, slowly bending the knees one at a time, because whenever we do something on one side, we always do it on the other side in my class. So what we're going to do now is bringing that left knee towards the chest, and then from there moving the left knee towards the left wrist, foot towards the right wrist, walking the right leg a little bit more back, either placing those fingertips or the hands down, or maybe you want to use blocks here, placing them underneath your hands. And from there, moving the shoulders up and back. Proud pigeon. Keeping that weight in the middle so we're not dropping to the left side. And maybe you want to close your eyes, noticing where things are going on in your body. Whenever you notice you have that space again, see if you want to have that little massage of the wrist, maybe just shaking those hands out for a moment. Sort of flipping pigeon. And from there, maybe little circles as well. But whenever you do something with the wrist, make sure you stay mindful of your back and of the legs here. And from there, slowly placing those hands in front of you, coming back to downward facing dog. And I'm walking it out here for a moment. And especially if the wrists are sensitive, make sure you fully spread out those fingers. So you can support your weight with your whole hands here. Now from here, slowly bending your knees a little bit more so you can walk those feet towards your hands. And then from there, dropping your head down, getting hold of those elbows here. And let it all hang. You can always bend the knees a little bit if you notice that's a bit much for the legs right now. And then see if you maybe want to move from left to right, or if it feels better to stay a little bit more static in the middle. So we're just preparing the front side of our legs for that split where we're going to move towards. Right now we take this pose as a little relaxation for the arms, for the neck, also beautiful stretch using gravity in our spine. But at the same time, we're also stretching out the hamstrings and the calves on the back side of our body, fully lengthening on the back side. Now from here, releasing those arms and then slowly rolling up, taking your time until you're all the way back up again. And then see if you have enough space around you, otherwise maybe step to the side for a moment so you have enough space. Because what we're gonna do is you're gonna totally relax those arms, maybe shaking them out a couple of times. And then from there, with that firm, steady stand here with the legs, we're slowly gonna move from left to right. And we're just gonna let our arms follow our upper body. And this is why we don't want to have a lot of stuff around us right now, because maybe you end up hitting your hand and we don't want that. Now from here, next time we go to the other side, we're gonna give ourselves a hug and we're staying here, looking either over your shoulder or maybe down to the side. Doesn't have to be a perfect twist, but just holding it here for a moment. And from there, just a couple of times from left to right before we're gonna do exactly the same thing on the other side. So whenever you're ready, getting hold of the other side, looking over the shoulder or to the ground. And slowly moving back, making those movements just a little bit smaller and smaller. And then slowly moving it all the way down towards the ground, letting it all hang. And then from there, next inhalation, lengthen the spine, table of your back. And then from there, on your exhalation, left foot first step to the back, knee in the ground, foot in the ground. Now from here, breathing in, coming all the way up, and see if there is space to move your right foot a little bit more to the front here. This is where the pelvic floor and the belly comes in again. So we're really gonna activate the pelvic floor, sucking in the navel, activating the belly here. And then from there, opening the heart a little bit more. And then see if you maybe want to have that full exhale through your mouth. Maybe also sticking your tongue out while doing it. Lioness. One more. And bringing those hands down. And just dropping your head for a moment. So when we breathe like that, we're actually really activating the belly at the same time. We're also activating the whole core, all the core muscles. The tongue is connected as a muscle, is connected to those core muscles. Now from here, whenever you're ready, you can do it either with blocks or without blocks. Slowly moving your right foot a little bit more to the front. And then from there, on an exhalation, move it back. See if you can lengthen your spine a bit more. And if you want to use blocks, you can always place those blocks underneath the hands. Then on your inhalation, moving to the front, letting that head hang, upper body hang. Breathing out, move it back. Now breathing in, move it to the front. Don't forget those core muscles. Breathing out, moving back. Breathing in, see if there is space to move your right foot just a little bit more to the front, and on that exhale, moving back. I'm gonna do step by step, slowly moving that right leg a bit more to the front. On your exhale, move it back. And then see how you can slowly go deeper into Hanumanasana, until you end up in your version of that split. You can always grab your blocks again, placing them underneath the shoulders if you want a little bit of support here. Taking one more deep breath. Exhale through your mouth. And from there, slowly dropping onto the side. Or moving it back, and then come and sit for a moment so you can use those windshield wipers. And see if you can compare the feeling in that left and right leg right now. So maybe you want to just stretch those legs out for a moment. And just relax them, maybe shake them out a little bit. And just dropping your head and moving from side to side here, noticing the difference between left and right. Maybe you notice a lot of space on the front side of one leg, more space on the back side of the other leg. And I'm placing your hands behind you, a little bit of jelly jiggling legs here, just shaking it out. And from there, moving back onto all fours. So again, you can place the hands down or placing those fists down for a moment. And then breathing in, shoulder blades together, looking to the front. Exhale, rounding the spine. Breathing in, looking to the front. And breathing out, rounding the spine. Now from here, breathing in, coming back in the middle. And then from there, placing your hands down, curl the toes, move yourself back, and then slowly start walking those feet towards the hands. Breathing in, making a table of your back. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, circle all the way up. And breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, table of your back. Breathing out this time, right foot, first step to the back, knee in the ground, foot in the ground. And then from there, placing that left foot a little bit more to the front. Breathing in, looking to the front. Breathing out, going back. This time lifting that left foot off the floor. Breathing in, move it to the front. See if you have space to move that left foot a little bit more to the front. Exhale, move it back. Breathing in. You can always use the blocks. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now breathing in slowly, moving it a little bit more to the front here and breathing out. Now breathing in, see if you want to just stay here for a moment, because I just remembered that we skipped one on the other side. We skipped low lunge. So we're just going to stay here for a moment. Maybe on an exhale, having that lioness breath again. Breathing in, bringing your head up. Exhale. Breathing in, head goes up. And from there, whenever you're ready, slowly see where your option is today. Maybe using those blocks again to give yourself a little bit of extra support here. One more lion's breath. And from there, slowly moving out of the pose in your own way until you end up in a seated position. And from there, just shaking those legs out. Maybe you just want to go down here, moving from side to side, or placing the hands behind your little jiggly legs here. And from there, we slowly move down onto the back, bringing your knees towards you. Little circles here. And while you are making circles here, see if you maybe also want to make some movements with the hands. Or maybe feel like stretching yourself all the way out, making little circles with the ankles. And bending the knees again. Circles with the knees. And for the next one, you can use a block or a pillow. Placing your feet down into the mat, lifting the butt off the ground, placing your block underneath your butt. And from there, you can place those feet a little bit wider if you want. And see if you want to keep the feet on the ground or if you feel like stretching out the legs today, whatever feels comfortable. And then from there, we bring the arms over the head, so you can bring them open to the side. And having a couple of those deep in and exhalations. Be full deep breath out through your mouth, but this time without the tongue sticking out. So you're not gonna go for that fire, we're gonna go for that relaxation, that deep breath out. Taking this pose as a soft relaxation for the legs. A little bit of a counter pose for our lower back, because actually in that split there is a deep back bend happening because our pelvis, our hips are tilting with our tailbone a bit more back to make space for that leg that goes back. So we also create compression in the lower back, which can be really healthy for our lower back. At the same time, we also want to give a little bit of attention to those parts of our body right now. So slowly, if you chose that option with the legs stretched out, see if you want to place the feet back into the ground. And from there, maybe moving those feet a little bit closer towards your butt so you can lift your butt, remove the block or the pillow, slowly bringing your butt down. And then from there, keeping your left foot in the ground, holding on to the back of your right leg, and then just relaxing your right leg here, maybe making a couple of circles with the ankle, or maybe flexing the foot and pointing, doing this a couple of times. And from there, placing that right leg down, grabbing hold of that left foot and slowly doing the same thing, making little circles with the foot. Maybe flexing and pointing a couple of times. And from there, bringing that leg back down, placing the soles of the feet against each other. And then slowly dropping those knees open to the side, bringing your hands behind your head for a butterfly, lying butterfly, closing your eyes here. And again, it's a relaxation for the lower back. We're slightly tilting the hips, but not as much as we did in Hanumanasana, a pose named after the monkey god. Connecting that activation of the fire in our belly, the activation of the core with the earth element, fully grounding, connecting with the stability the earth has to offer. And right now, if you notice that there is a part of your body, maybe the legs or the hands, where you notice that you can still let go just a little bit more, and see if you can visualize how all of this can now drip down into the earth. How it's going out of your body and how the earth is ready to take it from you. And slowly bringing your knees back together. Bringing the knees towards the chest. You can leave your hands where they are if you want to. And then slowly dropping the knees towards the left side for a little twist. You can always stretch out the right leg a little bit more if you want, or just keep the knees on top of each other. Staying here for just a couple of breaths. And slowly bringing those knees back in the middle and moving them down towards the other side. And from there, moving back in the middle, stretching the legs out, bringing the arms next to your body, making yourself ready for Shavasana. Slowly start to move the toes. Start to move your fingers. And start to stretch yourself all the way out. And from there, slowly bring the knees towards your chest.
down onto your right side before moving back up to a seated position. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Namaste.